Hello, you're watching Hornbilltv's Prime Time. Now headlines. Months before the Bihar Assembly election, the Nitish Kumar government on Wednesday decided to expand his cabinet with the induction of 7 new ministers. All 7 are from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbananda Sonowal on Wednesday announced an investment of more than rupees 4,800 crore to transform the inland waterways sector of the state at the Advantage Assam 2.0 in Guwahati. In a positive development at the Telangana tunnel collapse site, rescuers were able to reach the end of the tunnel and return. The team so far were only able to reach up to 50 meters before the end of the tunnel due to the muck and debris. The Israeli Defense Forces struck military targets inside southern Syria along with weapon storage sites in the past few hours, the IDF announced in the early hours of Wednesday. Now for the news in detail. India's stalwart batter Virat Kohli on Wednesday rose in the latest ICC men's player rankings after he scored his 51st ODI century in a superb display of batting against Pakistan at the ICC Champions Trophy in Dubai. Kohli gained 1 place on the latest rankings for ODI batters to move back into 5th spot overall as per the ICC, who released the new ODI rankings today. This brings 3 Indian batters inside the top 5. Opener Shubman Gill first and skipper Rohit Sharma third maintained their places at the top of the batting rankings courtesy of their own decent hauls at the ongoing Champions Trophy event. Gill actually increased his lead at the top of the rankings, with former Pakistan captain Babar Azam still on the 2nd spot despite a lean trot at the Champions Trophy so far. Kohli is the only player at the Champions Trophy to make any ground inside the top 10 on the list for ODI batters, but there are a host of stars on the outskirts of the top 10 to make inroads on the latest rankings that the ICC updated on Wednesday.
Kohli down, he's found the gap, the king has added another jewel to his crown. All those of you watching, everybody here at the Dubai International Stadium, bow, because this man has produced yet another sensational innings. 100 not out Virat Kohli. India win by 6 wickets with 7.5 overs left.
Months before the Bihar Assembly election, the Nitish Kumar government on Wednesday decided to expand his cabinet with the induction of 7 new ministers. All 7 are from the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is the 2nd cabinet expansion following the first in March 2024, just before the Lok Sabha election announcement, when 21 ministers were inducted. This comes ahead of the State Assembly election that is to take place later this year. Governor Arif Muhammad Khan administered the oath of office to the new inductees, who raised the strength of the cabinet to 36. The new ministers are Sanjay Saraugi, Dr. Sunil Kumar, Jibesh Kumar, Raju Kumar Singh, Motilal Prasad, Krishna Kumar Mandu and Vijay Kumar Mandal. The current strength of the Bihar cabinet is 30, with 15 BJP ministers, 13 JDU, 1 from the Hindustani Awam Morcha and an independent. 6 seats remain vacant. However, media reports suggest that their tenure may last only 8 to 9 months if elections are held as scheduled in October to November. The expansion ahead of the all-important assembly polls is being seen as an effort to bring in more faces to the government for broader representation.
कृष्ण कुमार मंटू ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं बिहार राज्य के मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या देश के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं कृष्ण कुमार मंटू ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय बिहार राज्य के मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय, जबकि ऐसे मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्य और सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना उचित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
हम लोग निर्वहन करेंगे और मिथिला का मान सम्मान और स्वाभिमान का प्रतीक है ये पाग और मिथिला पेंटिंग। निश्चित रूप से जो है ये हम लोग मान सम्मान स्वाभिमान और सरकार ने जो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने जो मुझ पर जो है विश्वास किया, उस विश्वास पर हम लोग जो है खड़े उतरेंगे, निश्चित रूप से काम करेंगे।
मिथिला का तो मिथिलांचल से इस बार अधिक मंत्री बनाए गए, आप हो गए और भी कई लोग बने हैं, तो इसके पीछे क्या रीजन है?
नहीं, मंत्री जो है एक जोन के नहीं होते हैं, उनको पूरे बिहार का काम देखना होता है और निश्चित रूप से हम लोग पूरे बिहार का काम देखेंगे।
जैसे मिथिलांचल में आप लोग लास्ट टाइम कितनी सीट जीते थे, तो क्या इस बार जो बच्चे खची
पूरे मिथिला में क्या पूरे बिहार में हम लोग का लक्ष्य है 225 प्लस और निश्चित रूप से 225 प्लस पर एनडीए जो है खड़ा उतरेगी माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में।
Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbananda Sonowal, on Wednesday announced an investment of more than rupees 4,800 crore to transform the inland waterways sector of the state at the Advantage Assam 2.0 in Guwahati. Speaking on the occasion, Sonowal lauds the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The country is crushing ahead towards realizing the vision of Viksit Bharat.
Many sectors. We are, in the next 5 years, going to spend more than 4,800 crores. In this, we are ship repair facilities, alternate road from NH 27, construction of IW terminal at Bogibeel, development of inland waterways terminal facility at Jugighopa. These are the project, and 10 IWT project under Sagarmala scheme, water rupees 646 crores have been already approved. And these are the important facilities, and also we are going to develop one of the center of excellence for maritime skill development. It would be a kind of very, very premier institution which will skill the youth of Assam and Northeast, and to the volume of 5,000 every year, and which should be distributed among the shipping liners across the.
We'll take a short break, so stay tuned.
विश्व के सबसे बड़े सांस्कृतिक समागम महाकुंभ प्रयागराज में अग्नि सुरक्षा के लिए 24 घंटे सतर्क और तत्पर है उत्तर प्रदेश अग्निशमन तथा आपात सेवा बल। आप भी रहें जागरूक। कुकिंग गैस में अच्छी गुणवत्ता वाले एलपीजी पाइप और रेगुलेटर का प्रयोग करें। रसोई घर का निर्माण टीन शेड में करें। उपयोग के बाद रेगुलेटर नॉब से गैस सप्लाई बंद करें। एलपीजी गैस की गंध आने पर तुरंत रेगुलेटर व गैस स्टोव बंद करें। टेंट में एलपीजी गैस और ज्वलनशील पदार्थ का उपयोग न करें। शिविरों में मानक के अनुरूप बिजली के कार्य कराएं। उच्च रेटिंग वाले एमसीबी ईएससीबी का प्रयोग करें। सर्किट, बल्ब, ट्यूबलाइट के मध्य कम से कम 15 सेंटीमीटर की दूरी सुनिश्चित करें। अपना कर यह आसान उपाय महाकुंभ को बनाएं सुरक्षा का पर्याय। स्वच्छ, सुरक्षित एवं सुव्यवस्थित महाकुंभ 2025 प्रयागराज।
Sexually transmitted infections like syphilis and HIV can be transmitted from mother to child. Get tested within the first 3 months of pregnancy.
ब्लैक टाइगर सीमेंट, कमाल का काम टाइगर है ना।
Welcome back. The Indian Army is on high alert after one of its vehicles came under fire from suspected terrorists in a forward village near the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district on Wednesday. There were no casualties. According to reports, the terrorists believed to be hiding in a forest fired a few rounds at the army vehicle passing through the area near Bhal village in the Sundarbani sector, which is considered a traditional infiltration route for militants. The troops returned fire and reinforcements were rushed to neutralize the terrorists, the official said, adding that a search operation is underway in the area. In a positive development at the Telangana tunnel collapse site, rescuers were able to reach the end of the tunnel and return. The teams so far were only able to reach up to 50 meters before the end of the tunnel due to muck and debris. Meanwhile, Telangana Minister Jubali Krishna Rao has informed that this project was specifically meant for irrigating 3 lakh acres of barren lands of Nakar Kurnul district and also for drinking water to eradicate this fluoride-affected population. 11 agencies are working to rescue the trapped workers.
This project was basically meant for irrigating 3 lakh acres of barren lands of Nargoda district and also for drinking water to eradicate this fluoride affected population. And this was started during Y.S. Rajshekar period, 44 kilometers length, out of which 35 kilometers was already completed. Most of it was done during Y.S. period itself. The leftover was 9 kilometers, which the last government could not do in 10 years of time. Now, while doing the work like any other projects, after getting the certificates from the Geological Survey of India, and they started all of a sudden, it's a nature's disaster. All of a sudden, with the high velocity, got what we call flooded the total tunnel bursting with mud and water and also slurry, stones and all that. Got inundated almost the entire whole thing, where there were 50 people who were working, 42 were on top of the TBM mission, and 8 were on the first floor of the mission. Who were on top, they could run. Immediately the American company, one by name some Clink, is shouted, and immediately all people rushed and came out, some by swimming also. Others couldn't come, they are stuck now, 8 people. So now the rescuing operations are on. So it is a very tricky situation, horrible, very bad situation. Lot of slurry, mud, still the water is coming in, and there is no access to go inside. One side is the pipes, one side is the conveyor belt, in the center is the railway track to carry the men and machinery and all that. So the process is on, and now but 11 agencies are working on this, both from defense, like Army, Navy, and also the disaster management rescue teams. But 11 agencies are working. The only thing is we are waiting for the reports from the Geological Survey of India and NRSA, so as to get, because the same problem should not recur. Whatever the rescue teams are 50 or 100 people go inside, if the same problem recurs again, so the risk of their lives will be there. The rescue team's risk, life will be in risk. So we are assessing properly, but to make sure it will not collapse again. That's the reason assessing all the reviews are just now. Our irrigation minister, he has also reviewed the situation.
On Monday, endoscopic and robotic cameras were brought to the site to assist in the rescue operation, and NDRF dog squad was also deployed. The Engineer Task Force of the Indian Army has deployed equipment and medical teams to clear debris and facilitate the safe evacuation of the trapped workers. J. Prakash Gaur, founder JP Group contracting firm of SLBC project, said they are trying their best to see that all the 8 people can come. At the same time, the project has to be completed. He also stated in this difficult work, such things happen.
8 people can come.
Sir, all the support from the JP Group, sir.
Yes, we will try our best, but at the same time, project is to be completed. lot of.
Sir, this type of incident happened in the past in your. This type of incident.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I am hearing. In these difficult works, such things happen. Such thing happens. In my life, I think it might be 6th or 7th accident. In Tehri, in Bhutan, in J&K, everywhere. We have to encounter all this. But
Any lessons to...
We're taking out a short break, so stay tuned.
Oh, lovely. Well done. अब होगा बड़ा स्टूडियो, नया कैमरा, नई लाइट्स। लगे हाथ नई कार भी ले लो उसी लोन से। नो, लोन लिए गए काम में ही लगाओ, समय से EMI चुकाओ, क्रेडिट स्कोर बढ़ाओ और अगला लोन आसानी से पाओ। कार नहीं तो मेरी फोटो तो ले लो। आप कौन?
RBI कहता है
वित्तीय समझदारी समृद्ध नारी।
HIV can infect anyone, including children. A woman with HIV can spread it to her baby during pregnancy, delivery, or breastfeeding.
Welcome back. US President Donald Trump announced on Tuesday local time that the United States will introduce a gold card for wealthy foreigners, granting them the right to live and work in the country with a pathway to citizenship in exchange for a $5 million fee, CNN reported. The CNN report, citing Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, stated that the gold card will replace the existing EB-5 immigrant investor visa program. They'll have to go through vetting, of course, the CNN report said, citing the Commerce Secretary, to make sure they're wonderful world-class global citizens, Lutnick added. Trump made the announcement during a media availability in the Oval Office, where he also signed an executive action investigating the copper industry and answered questions on various topics. He stated that sales of the gold cards would begin in about 2 weeks and suggested that millions could be sold. From the legal standpoint, it's totally legal to do, he said. Earlier, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt defended the administration's stance on the Associated Press, asserting that questioning the U.S. president is a privilege, not a legal right. During the briefing, Trump was seen distributing pamphlets that read, "Trump was right about everything."
We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship. And wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy, and they'll be successful, and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. Never been done before, anything like this, but it's something that we're going to be putting out over the next, would you say 2 weeks out? Do you want to say a couple of words about it?
Sure.
Mr. President, are there
Wait a
any
minute.
requirements for that
Hang on a
gold
sec.
card? Do you have to invest a certain amount of money in this country in order to qualify for that gold card?
Yeah, exactly.
So the EB-5 program was really, you lend some money, but it was full of nonsense, make-believe, and fraud, and it was a way to get a green card that was low-priced. So the president said, rather than having this sort of ridiculous EB-5 program, we're going to end the EB-5 program. We're going to replace it with the Trump Gold Card, which is really a green card gold. So they'll be able to pay $5 million to the U.S. government. They'll have to go through vetting, of course. We're going to make sure they're wonderful, world-class global citizens. They can come to America. The president can give them a green card, and they can invest in America, and we can use that money to reduce our deficit. Why do we give out lotteries of green cards? Why do we give out EB-5 for green cards? The President of the United States understands that the right answer is, why don't we eliminate the deficit of the United States of America instead?
The gold card, well, millions, but the gold card will bring in with it people that create jobs, very high-level people. I think companies will pay to get people in. For instance, you today graduate from the Wharton School of Finance or Harvard or Stanford or any college, and nobody knows if you can even go to work for a company. So Apple and all these companies that want to get people to be working for them will be able to buy a card, and for the people that are number one in their class at top schools, I see that as one of the things. But generally speaking, it'll be people with money and people that create jobs, and they won't have to pay any tax on income outside of the United States, which they're not paying right now. They're not citizens, but they'll have to pay if they create jobs in the United States. They'll pay full taxes like everybody else. So you're getting big taxpayers, big job producers, and we'll be able to sell maybe 1 million of these cards, maybe more than that. And if you add up the numbers, they're pretty good. As an example, 1 million cards would be worth $5 trillion. $5 trillion.
Wow.
And if you sell 10 million of the cards, that's a total of $50 trillion. Well, we have 35 trillion in debt. That'd be nice. So we'll see. But it could be great. Maybe it will be fantastic. We have it all worked out from the legal standpoint. It's totally legal to do. Hasn't been done before. It's been done in many different forms. We give them away. Why should we give them away? We shouldn't give them away. And I think it's something very exciting. I think it's potentially just something that we're all very excited.
Israel and Hamas have reached an agreement for the transfer of 4 Israeli hostages' bodies in exchange for the release of 602 Palestinian security prisoners, according to statements from both Hamas and an Israeli official, as reported by the Times of Israel. According to Times of Israel's report, the agreement is expected to end the deadlock that threatened to derail the multi-phase ceasefire deal before its first stage could be fully implemented. An agreement was reached to resolve the issue of the delayed release of Palestinian prisoners who were supposed to be freed in the last batch, Hamas said in a statement cited by the Times of Israel. Hamas added they will be released simultaneously with the bodies of the Israeli prisoners agreed upon for transfer during the first phase, in addition to an equivalent number of Palestinian women and children. An Israeli official confirmed the deal, stating that the exchange would take place through Egypt on Wednesday. However, some reports suggest it may be delayed until Thursday, according to Times of Israel. Israel had been due to release the Palestinian prisoners on Saturday, but had refused to proceed, citing Hamas violations of the agreement. This included concerns over the return of the remains of 3 members of the Bibas family and Hamas propaganda-driven ceremonies during previous hostage releases. A senior Israeli official told the Times of Israel that Hamas now faces a critical decision. It will continue releasing hostages and extend the ceasefire or risk its collapse, which would lead to the resumption of the full-scale hostilities. The first phase of the ceasefire agreement is set to conclude on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Times of Israel reported that a U.S. Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff, is expected to visit Israel in the coming days. Witkoff stated that the upcoming negotiations aim to advance the next phase of the agreement and facilitate further hostage releases. Speaking about this, Witkoff said the focus of the new talks will be to put phase 2 on track and have some additional hostage release, and we think that's a real possibility, Times of Israel reported, and also mentioned that Witkoff may participate in the negotiations slated for Sunday if it goes well. That's all for now. Keep watching Hornbilltv.